Hi everyone, and welcome to What I Eat in a Day on a Mediterranean Diet, the Spain edition. Now, each month we've been choosing a different country that borders the Mediterranean Sea, and we've been exploring its cuisine. And today we're going to do Spain. I think it's going to be a really fun, interesting day. Now, like most European countries, in Spain, breakfast is kind of a simple dish. You know, sometimes it's something really small with some really strong coffee. So we're gonna keep breakfast simple. But in Spain, the most important meal of the day is lunch. And they usually have it sometime between 2 and 4. They do it in the afternoon like that. So we're gonna have our main meal today in the early afternoon. And then for supper tonight, we're gonna do something lighter. We're gonna lay out a table of tapas and small plates and probably have a nice, really cold, sparkling cava. I think it's gonna be a really fun day. Come join me. For breakfast, we're having pan con tomate, which is usually grilled bread that's rubbed with garlic, and then it is used with crushed tomatoes. So I have some toasted bread here. I have a tomato puree with a little garlic in it, and I'm just going to drizzle over some extra virgin olive oil. Very, very simple breakfast. For lunch, we're going to make Spanish chicken, which is a dish that's all cooked in one skillet. It's boneless chicken cooked in a spicy tomato sauce with green bell peppers and chunky onions and crushed red pepper flakes and paprika. I think you're really going to enjoy it. Let me show you how to make it. For this dish, we have boneless breast of chicken, which we're going to slice into medallions. We have a green bell pepper, which we're going to cut into strips. And we have a Jersey field tomato, which we're going to dice. In this bowl, I have a 1/4 cup of all-purpose flour, 2 teaspoons of paprika, a teaspoon of garlic powder, a teaspoon of dried thyme, 1/4 teaspoon of black pepper, and a teaspoon of salt. And I'm going to stir all of these together. All these pretty colors. And I'm going to sprinkle 2 tablespoons of this over the chicken and reserve the rest for later. I have 2 tablespoons of olive oil in that I've been heating up over medium-high heat, and now I'm going to place the chicken in and brown it on both sides. So about 3 minutes on each side, and then I'm going to pull it out and put it back on this plate while we cook the vegetables. But this is the first step. I diced our Jersey tomato. If you want to use canned diced tomatoes, the equivalent would be a 14.5 ounce can. We cut the green pepper into strips, like this, and took a large onion and cut it into 1/2 inch wedges. Move the chicken from the pan, and now I'm adding the pepper and the onion. We're going to cook this until it starts to soften up. It'll probably take about 5 minutes. If you need to at this stage, you can add a little bit more olive oil. Is there anything better than the smell of onions and peppers cooking together? Well, now I'm going to add the tomato. And because I'm using a fresh tomato, I'm also going to add a little bit of crushed tomato. So not a lot, but about 1/3 of this can. I'm also adding the remaining flour. and a half a cup of sherry. This is cream sherry. You could also use dry sherry if you want to. Or if you don't want to use sherry at all, you could use chicken broth. So a half a cup. That seasoned flour thickens the sauce up nicely. And we're going to let this go for a little while. I'm going to reduce it to a simmer and cover it. Let it cook for a while before we add the chicken back. Okay, now that this is boiling, I'm going to stir in some red pepper flakes. Now this is optional. And this is a half a teaspoon. So it looks like a lot, so I might do half of this and then stir it in and see how it tastes, and then come back to that. So I'm going to stir this in, and then I'm going to return the chicken to the pot. Oh, what the hell. Give it a good stir. Now I'm going to put all this chicken back in the pot. Give it a nice coating. Fold it all in. I'm going to put the lid on this and let this simmer for about 10 minutes. We're going to serve this over mashed potatoes. You could serve it over rice. You could probably serve it over pasta if you wanted to. Rice would probably be more traditional, but I'm in the mood for mashed potatoes. See you in 10. It's our potatoes boiling for the mashed potatoes. And I think this looks beautiful. And I'm going to mash the potatoes and then serve this up. For supper, I'm making some small plates and tapas. I have some shrimp that I'm going to cook with a little lemon and parsley. I have some poblano peppers that I'm roasting in the oven. I've roasted some eggplant. I have avocado halves that I'm going to stuff with tuna salad. I think that'll be really fun. We have some spicy cheese. I have some olives. I have some olive oil dipping sauce. I have some beautiful bread. I think it's going to be a nice spread, especially with a cold glass of cava. So I have some shrimp in this pan here. I'm squeezing on a little bit of lemon juice. I'm tossing in some parsley. Here I have some mushrooms with some cream sherry and a little bit of butter. We have this chipotle flavored cheese. This is a brand called Sincerely Bridget, which I like. I actually know Bridget's mother. So I know it's not Spanish, but it has Spanish flavors. I put some chipotle cheese shredded onto some little pieces of baguette that I've sliced up, and we're just going to put these in the oven long enough for the cheese to melt. The house smells so delicious with the lingering smell of our chicken for lunch, and now that I'm cooking the shrimp and the cheese and the peppers and the eggplant, it's the scent of Spain, and it goes really nicely the cold bubbly. Cheers. Thank you for joining me today as we virtually traveled to Spain to explore its cuisine. I thought it was a really fun day and I hope you liked it too. Please share this video with your friends. Don't forget to subscribe if you haven't already. Give me a thumbs up, do all the things, and I will see you next time. Bye!